Vaya.
I'm CJ.
And I'm Kate.
And in the style of Pipe Up, this is Buzz Off. We are going to recap the Neighbours Summer Series Webisodes and talk to you about our feelings about them. This is that now.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. Yeah.
So we just watched the Cannings family Christmas in Frankston.
And I really liked it.
It was gold.
I thought it was really fantastic. Lots of pop culture references that might not translate that well into the UK, but I'd love to hear whether they did. But one thing that I thought was a bit weird is that, like, the Canning family didn't know about Xanthi like a year ago. So, but they're acting like they do this every Christmas.
Yeah,
but
now
she
she's
didn't.
That's
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They
Weird.
didn't know about her. So she's never been to a Canning family Christmas.
No.
This is her first and Ben's first.
She's had a few overnight trips to Frankston. Every now and then they go... Whose house was it, by the way, that we saw?
It was
Auntie Jackie?
Auntie Jackie and Uncle Keith's, which I do like. I love that he's like old school Aussie.
Great names.
Yeah.
Was that Keith, that young guy? That
Yes.
very
But I have a
confused.
feeling, from what they alluded, he must have married into the family because he wasn't actually related to Xanthi.
No.
Yeah, he's not related.
Or Kylie.
That's why he's able to perv on
Get pervy.
Yeah.
So beautifully shot as well. It was the same. It was the digital team that did Neighbours versus Zombies, and so Ben takes the train to Franga to go
which
see
after
Xanthi.
Susan burns him and says it's a suburb of Melbourne, it's only an hour
Yeah,
train
get out.
ride away.
Get out of here. Go see your girlfriend, you whinger. And we get to see the trains, the Melbourne train system, and then a excellently chosen Frankston house and backyard.
It looked like a genuine Aussie backyard as opposed to like the Neighbours set backyards, which don't look anything like we've seen before.
They don't. Right. And they played backyard cricket, which is much more common than court cricket,
Yeah.
like they play in Neighbours.
And then, well, it ends in wheelbarrow races.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not.
There was too
normal.
much touching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
and too
liking.
much, you know,
One of my
angles.
One of my
Too
favourite
many
things though was the reference to carving your name into the asbestos shed, which don't do that.
Not advisable.
That's how you get like mesothelioma, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag not okay.
My favourite line was from Kylie when she answered the door and Ben's standing there and she goes, "Hey, yous lot, Vampire Academy's here." Perfect.
And I love that she was so having a go at him about being a vampire, but she was like, had dark hair and dark lipstick, and she was more goth than him.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, UK viewers, you might have missed the reference to the Viennetta with the 5-finger discount.
Dane and Harley were down the shops running to get a Viennetta. Do you have Viennettas over Streets Viennetta in the UK? It's just an ice cream layer cake.
Yeah.
It's like a log.
Classic bogan suburban dessert.
Yeah.
And 5-finger discount, of course, is stealing it.
Shoplifting.
Yeah.
So they were stuck. And then they all gathered around to eat pre-Christmas lunch and watch CSI Miami, which was...
It's Kate's
gold.
favourite show.
Keith, yeah. Keith was a strange unit.
Oh, I love Kate's kind of like fixed stare at Xanthi. That was really weird when he's all like...
Ugh.
Yeah.
And also Kylie's eyeing off Ben, and then it ends in a scrag fight. So she's perving on Ben, Xanthi launches at her, and then they have a cat fight in the yard. Sorry, and then Ben accuses Keith of having been in jail, but Keith says, "No, I've been in the Army Reserve."
Which was great. That was a great line.
Yeah. That was a good twist.
And then Zancan kicks Ben out because he's just insulted her whole family. She's like,
Again.
"Get out of here!"
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. He keeps coming from his posh life.
Mate, he was raised in Ballarat.
Yeah.
It's pretty vogue.
Yeah, I think...
I wouldn't say
further
that
than
Frankston.
Frankston.
I wouldn't say Frankston's more vogue than Ballarat. There's country vogue in
Yeah.
Ballarat.
Yeah. Beachside Vogue and Country Vogue.
Yeah.
So Canning's mini webisode, A+. Should we rate them all against each other?
Yeah, I'd give them probably, I'd say an 8.5 out of 10 for the Cannings.
Yeah, I'd probably go 7. One thing that I thought was interesting was that some of the actors were clearly having fun with it. And, you know, Susan, professional, she was exactly the same as she would be on a show, but she was hilarious. I quite liked it.
Yeah, in great form.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 Viennettas. It was good work. What a stinker. We just watched the 2 Amy webisodes.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes. I'm never... Oh, well, not even.
It felt like 25 minutes.
It's not a good sign when I start checking my phone for things.
Yeah, not in a 4-minute video.
No.
Oh, that was rough. I wish we'd just watched the Cannings twice.
Yeah.
So Amy is writing a Christmas card on the beach because you bring your letter writing kit to the beach.
Look, no one writes a Christmas card to their ex-boyfriend who lives in another country with their current
And
wife.
dialing it back further, no one writes Christmas cards anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was writing it to Kyle and Georgia.
Oh, was
Yeah.
she? Oh,
Yeah.
what a
Just like, hope you and Georgia are having a good time.
I think she's even more of a sad loser than I
She
thought,
really
and
is.
she's pretty sad.
But she rings Paul and we're led to believe she's gone to the Blue Mountains for Christmas with her mum, who's in the psych ward or rehab or
That's
something.
a festive time.
Yeah.
I don't think she was that unwell, to be honest. Like, she was a bit funny, but she wasn't like, 90 days in a psych ward unwell.
No, she could have just seen her shrink, gone back to normal life.
Yeah.
We couldn't figure out where Amy was meant to be.
No, because, well, the three of us being Melburnians actually
Yeah.
identified it as being St Kilda Beach.
Mm.
So, which is in Melbourne, not in the Blue Mountains, which is like west of Sydney.
Well, also, Paul said the Blue Mountains don't have beaches. So,
Yeah, which, hey,
but were they trying to pretend like it was Bondi?
we think it might be, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the idea was she left Jimmy at her mum's and then went off to have some me time.
Maybe she's booked him into the psych ward.
Maybe. Oh, look, Kate suggested maybe she just left him in the car.
Well, she looked in the rear view and I thought she was just going to say, oh shit, I left him in here 6 hours ago.
No.
But kids die in hot cars.
Yeah, the whole thing was a cautionary tale.
It was.
And then she meets this man bun on the beach called Hunter,
Yep.
who is in a wetsuit and his job is to teach paddleboarding and surfing in
Yep.
the bay.
Yeah, not much call for surfing at St Kilda Beach. It's flat as a tack.
I guess that's why it's mainly paddleboarding.
And Amy says to him, because she is the connoisseur of bad men, says, that job is so cool. So cool. You rent the things at the beach.
And then she concocts this elaborate tale about how her name is Leonie, because she's hung up on Leo, and she's a teacher.
It's like, and I love that she's showing off about her glamorous job as an English teacher. If you're going to lie about something, at least make yourself sound exciting, like maybe, I'm a flight attendant or something.
Or I'm a foot model or something.
Look, she's another person, much like Jodie. I've forgotten her name now.
Canasta.
Yeah.
Ellie, yeah.
Yeah, Ellie, that's confused on what a teacher is.
Yes.
Yeah, another person in Ramsay Street that doesn't know.
And paddleboard instructor is taken with her immediately, because I guess he wanted to hook an English teacher.
Yeah,
Something, I don't know.
It was on his list. It was like flight attendant, dental assistant,
Yeah.
English teacher.
In fact, when he appeared, Kate said, "Who's this tosspot?"
Well, he looks just like Amy as well. Like, both with their hair back in
Yeah.
kind of like a bit of a bun.
He reminded me also a bit of Dylan Timmons. He had a bit of the Dylan Timmons about him.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always thought Dylan was a bit attractive. And this guy's not unattractive, but
he was
he's
just a dick.
quite wolf-like.
Yeah. And then there's this montage of him teaching Amy to paddleboard. It was a long montage.
It wasn't good. Oh, and she like playfully splashed him, and it's like,
And then at the end of that bit, Leo appears and then she falls into the drink. And then in the next part, they have a coffee. They all have a coffee at a local cafe.
in a nice-looking cafe.
Yeah.
At that, it wasn't just like they were sitting
Harold's.
outside in sandy chairs or
Yeah.
something, and he's sitting at the table in his wetsuit.
Gross.
He-
Some
not
waitress is going to have to wipe that down.
He lives the beach life, you know?
You'd know he'd be. We couldn't see his feet, but I'm sure he would be barefoot.
100% barefoot.
And
He's
so-
just like he's living. Well, he's in the search for the ocean or whatever those beach people say.
I don't know. Hang
Oh, the
10.
perfect wave. Yeah.
They say the Rip Curl. Their tagline was the search.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't hang 10 in the Melbourne Bay. Portfield
No,
Bay.
no,
No,
you would
it's like-
actually just fall off the board at
This,
that stage.
this is the ocean in the Melbourne Bay.
And actually, the waves that you see in it are pretty indicative of what it looks like most of the time. So yeah, no surfing. Yeah.
And then Leo has Amy confess that she's been lying about her identity, her super sexy identity of English teacher who lived in Bondi, which was Ellie's story, and her name is Leonie. And then Hunter cracks the shits, storms off down the beach.
Because, do you do this to every man? Or is this like What the hell, mate? You literally just met this chick.
5 minutes ago.
I would only be angry that I'd given her mates rates, but at the same time, you did get to touch her up. So it's kind of like, well, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Very handsy. I don't want paddleboarding lessons from him.
No, and you know he would be hitting on every single woman he instructed as well.
Yeah.
Because he threw this, what are those balls with that frisbee ball thing that he threw to land on her? To get her,
yeah, that Nerf
ball thing.
Yeah.
It's got to be his manoeuvre every day.
Yeah.
So that thing was like a Christmas must-have give, I feel like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it's not even current.
This year he got a Furby.
Yeah. And so I feel like, you know, like when I was young, it was that grip ball, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like if a man comes up to you on the beach and he's got the kid's toy from 4 years ago, you know that he's...
Alarm bells.
He's 19.
And he's doing it.
19, and he was called Hunter, which is a young person's name.
It is.
I reckon he'd have just like a whole list of ways to hit on women at the beach, and that would be one of them. This is probably the easiest one. I'll just chuck a dart at her.
Chuck something at her.
No.
I'll throw things at her.
While she's catching up on her
Oh,
correspondence.
do you want to go and hang out with me and me mates? Nah, I'm fine here, thanks.
And then Leo tries it on, and it's weird. And then she rings her dad. She rings Paul.
Who's hanging out at the flame tree under the sign.
He's there for her though, he says.
So, why aren't they all together on Christmas? He should have gone to the Blue Mountains and they could have all had a nice dinner in the psych ward.
Look, I think someone should have been with Jimmy. He's a child.
Jimmy had probably the saddest Christmas. Probably had to go to a drop-in centre to get some turkey.
Like literally, Jimmy spent Christmas in a psych ward with his nana.
While Amy's hanging tan in the bay.
Because she needs a bit of space because she was in a relationship. Amy, woman up.
Do you reckon they like vitamise the food in the psych ward as well? Like, is it just like roast turkey that's now just
Pureed?
Yeah. I don't know. The ones that I visited didn't.
What a sad tale for Jimmy.
I'm glad you still got your teeth there.
Okay, we're going to rate that.
Oh, that's possibly a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, 2's generous, I think. Yeah, 2 out of 10.
See, it could have been this.
Yeah,
but it's
no.
this.
2 out of 10 wetsuits.
I feel giving it 2 gives us the chance, if anything's actually worse than that, then we can go.
Yeah,
can go worse.
We haven't seen them. We don't know what's to come.
We've had the cream of the crop. We've had the cream of the Viennetta at the Cannings. And now we've taken a dip.
Who are we looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the Kennedys. They might get the blue box out.
No, I just want more Cannings.
Yeah, I could have watched 9 episodes just of the Cannings.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It would have been like that Animal Kingdom show.
Actually, spot on.
All right, we'll see you
Next
soon.
episode. Okay, we just watched the Kennedys Webisodes. Adorable.
Yeah, the best.
It was,
For me.
Yeah. It was very cute. It was better, certainly much better than the Amy episode.
I mean, we knew how it was all going to pan out. So they wake up, Carl's writing Christmas cards, again with the Christmas cards, and we figure out that he is responsible for preparing Christmas lunch. It's supposed to be Christmas Day, and he somehow, no one's noticed that there are no ingredients in the household.
Yeah, and so, come on, seriously. Before Christmas you have like meat in the fridge, taking up a goodly portion of your fridge.
Your fridge is overflowing. It's when you think about buying a second fridge.
Yeah, the pantry has got crackers and paper plates and Christmas napkins, and so no, you wouldn't go a whole week and then wait till Christmas Day and go, oh, where's all the food? No.
But Carl decides to blame Ben.
Yes.
For drinking, and it was the best scene.
That was the best scene.
I loved that. That was fantastic.
He said Ben's been tucking into the sherry, and then Ben says, us kids love it. It's the new goon.
Great.
Best line. New goon. I do take issue with the fact that the Kennedys aren't spending Christmas with any of the other Kennedys.
Carl's not spending time with any of his children, even his like youngest daughter, who's still into the magic of Christmas.
Yeah, but she's in London.
Still.
She's not young anymore. She's a bitter teenager now.
But I can't
they
remember how old she is.
They could have gone to Brizzy for Billy and Anne and their kids. They're the grandkids. They'd be right into Christmas.
He should have gone to bloody London to catch up with their first grandkid over there.
Oh,
yes,
first Christmas.
baby Susanna's first Christmas.
But you know what? They don't go to each other's weddings. Why are they going to go to,
And if he wasn't so stingy, he would have put the bill on the flights for Malcolm and
Yeah.
Catherine and Susanna to come down for
He
Christmas.
wasn't even buying Susan a new Christmas card. So
No,
I
he was
think he's flying
recycling.
anywhere.
That's always my fear, though, because I never give Christmas cards anymore, except for like maybe one auntie or grandparent. And I'm always like, oh, did I use this one last year? So I felt that for him.
Yeah, well, I give it to someone who I give a voucher.
Yes,
And,
yes, to dress it up.
Yeah, and so I probably bought a 10-pack 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's probably got the same
yeah.
card every year.
Last year.
Yeah.
Now Susan gives Ben $100 out of Carl's wallet.
Yeah. And it was great.
Because he says Ben was gonna make Christmas lunch and just improvises with things he can see around the room. And then Carl nips off to the flame tree where Paul's busy. He's run off his feet because there's no kitchen staff in the flame tree kitchen, and he's preparing Christmas lunch.
Who knew he was such a good chef?
Yeah. And he's run off his feet, he's got orders up the wazoo, so Carl comes in and begs him for the leftovers. And Paul says that they did have an order for 3 people that isn't going to be collected, so he can have that on one condition. Cut to Carl in front of the Welcome to Erinsborough sign in an elf costume, spruiking for the Robinsons Motel.
Yeah, not for any marketing reasons because he's booked out. He just wants to put Carl in an elf suit.
Yeah.
And he happened to have one in Carl's size.
Yeah, he has the sign all printed up, ready to go.
Yeah, because he knew that Carl, would be around sometime.
Yeah.
It seems like a really poor marketing strategy, though, to be advertising Christmas lunch on Christmas
On the day.
at lunchtime.
Well, it just
people
said-
driving past going, oh, I didn't have any plans for today. I'll just pop in there.
If anything, he should have dressed Carl up as Baby New Year and have your New Year's function at Robinson's.
I could definitely see Carl dressed up as an adult baby.
Yes.
It's probably
Yeah.
from the blue box.
Yeah.
And so then Susan drives up, springs him in the elf suit, and then he says Ben's gone missing. He's been looking for Ben, but then Ben rolls the window down. He's like, I'm here. You're a big liar. And
Everyone knows you lie, Grandpa.
so they all trek back to the Kennedys, and lunch is all spread out on the table. Carl takes credit for it, but then Paul appears, and they invite him to lunch with them, and then it all comes out that the order for the 3 people was actually Susan's order for Christmas lunch because she knew Carl would stuff up.
Do you reckon Paul got paid twice?
Yep.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Yep.
It's gone. But what a sad state of affairs. Paul
Paul has
Carl,
a million children.
Susan, and
Carl has
Ben.
a million children.
Libby, what does she do? Does she just stay in China
Probably.
for Christmas?
Isn't she a teacher still?
In China.
Yeah, but some sort of high-flying
Yeah.
China teacher.
So they would have like 2 months of holidays.
Yeah, they
No,
would...
well, actually,
no.
From
No.
my connection, they actually
Summer.
don't. It's their winter holidays right now, so they get less than normal holidays.
You'd think your dad's a doctor. He could spring for a few more flights.
Yeah, but the insurance he must be paying these days.
And where's Ellie? Has she gone back to Sydney for
Oh
Christmas?
yeah, no, Ellie. That
They
was
must
a
have filmed
weird
this
omission.
before she arrived. Yeah, Ellie's
Yeah.
Gone to see her mum.
That is weird. There's no Ellie.
Nah.
No Ellie. No Nate. Actually, is Nate in Australia?
I don't know where Nate is anymore. He's in Darwin, isn't he?
I don't remember.
Oh
who
yeah,
that
he
is.
joined the reserve. He's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
over in Afghanistan again.
Or
Yeah.
he's in Darwin and he's gone to see the remaining Willis family
Oh,
over
the
there.
rest of his mob.
I think Ellie's probably just slept over at a guy's house and...
Probably with Hunter from the last
Yes,
episode.
Christmas lunch is
Probably
going to
woke
be...
up in a daze. Like,
Christmas lunch is
face
going
down
to
in the
be
sand.
whatever is in his fridge.
Yeah, she's woken up with Hunter and he's gone, I've always wanted to be with an English teacher. Anyway,
So,
who's next?
that was cute. Ratings?
Ooh. A 10. 10 out of 10.
Ah!
Yeah. No, I love Carl jokes. They're my favourite.
No, they were adorable. I'm taking some points off for the logic factor, the logistics factor. I'm going to go 8 out of 10 recycled Christmas cards.
I might go 7. I feel like it's probably the most true to life Neighbours storyline. It feels like a ceramic pig on a normal week.
Yes, it was a Christmas.
Hang on.
It was the Christmas ceramic pig.
And they're all ceramic pig episodes. But this
Yes.
one was really... like Kate said, this could have been in the last episode of Neighbours as the ceramic pig.
You know what Nate should do one year? Make this into an ornament and send it to Carl for Christmas. How
that's
cute would that
beautiful.
be? Okay, we have piles to watch now.
Hey guys, welcome to Pipe Up.
Kate's wearing commemorative Piper Space buns. God, I'm sick of the space buns on that girl.
I think they're great.
You love them. But they don't make her look 17. They make her look 11.
She looked like a 13-year-old out in the streets. I actually felt like these sets of episodes was like a crime scene reenactment. That like I thought something terrible was going to happen to Piper.
They were so dull. The Pipes episodes, Piles episodes.
The drunk girl was like the last person to see Pipes before she disappeared.
Oh, that's grim.
And she wasn't going to remember that at all.
No.
Pipes and Tiles want to go spend New Year's Eve together. He's booked a creepy motel room and wants to take her out to dinner.
Raped in. Yeah.
And because they can get away with this apparently because Terage is set to spend New Year's Eve with her ex-husband and his new wife.
What a way to bring in the new year. Wow. A year when your son dies, your marriage breaks down, and your husband finds a new wife.
If anything, Terage should have been on a plane to LA going, Emmy, I'm coming.
She can't go there because she's got a criminal record?
Yes.
Good point.
But yeah,
That's the situation.
Do you reckon they're getting out the blue box on New Year's?
Do you think Jav and Lauren, maybe the Kennedys got Jav and Loz a wedding present blue box?
Do you reckon like
That's a
Beth,
beautiful gift.
maybe like Beth turned up too as well? Like it was
awesome.
Yeah.
Keys in the bowl, like puberty blues style. Keys in the bowl. But Terage pieces out of that arrangement.
I love it.
Early in the evening. It was like 5 o'clock when she comes home.
I don't want alcoholics to drink, but I want Therese to drink.
Yeah, I think she would have had a better night.
Imagine if she'd got on the wines and she was on the couch doing a bit of a snort breathe.
And just telling a few home truths. Great. But, however, the one redeeming feature of these episodes were Neighbuzz got a little surreptitious shout out when Tiles was talking to Pipes about what Terage was going to do for her New Year's, and he said, well, I'd rather her raging over at Brad and Lauren instead of raging at me. Raging is what we say to describe Terage's behaviour. Thank you and good night.
Yep, but we're done.
Yeah.
That was it. I think that was about a minute into the first episode, but we were done.
And I was really excited. And then, so Pipes feels bad and stays in with her mum to prevent her from falling off the wagon.
As she should.
But they fall asleep. She falls asleep. They look like they're watching car racing. Didn't sound like an interesting
movie. It looked
movie.
about 7 p.m, which to me says maybe Terage has been on the turf.
Yeah, she's falling asleep at 7, straight after dinner. So Pipes heads off out into the city, into the night, which is quite a gamble. You're just assuming your mum's not going to wake up at all.
She didn't leave a note, I don't think.
No.
One thing that I really must revisit from their amazing New Year's Eve, Therese and Pipes, she said, "You having fun?"
It's always a sign of a good time.
Yeah.
No, you can't ask if you're having fun.
No.
Fun should be noticed.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's the best."
So there was no plan. Piper just heads into the city, not knowing where to go. She was just going to go and assume she would ring Tyler. She didn't even text him from the train. She just gets in the city and then rings him and then can't get through.
She just looked super vulnerable as well. Like, do you think, like, walking around with her camera out here, like, she's about to get mugged for sure.
Pickpockets are rife, New Year's Eve. She can't connect. Signals are down. iMessage is not sending through any of her messages.
And she never holds it down and says, "Send us text."
Exactly. That would have solved a few problems.
Send us text works on 2G pipes.
Yeah.
2.
And she didn't think to try Facebook Messenger. I mean, that's sometimes worse, but Instagram message.
Oh, look, that never
Maybe,
works.
you know.
I tried that recently. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
She
I mean,
could've-
it works technically, but no one checks it.
She could have gone into a hotel foyer and got some free Wi-Fi.
He also could have told her which hotel he booked.
The rape den.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 5 stars.
It's under what if under raped in.
It's a mystery deal. Just last minute mystery deal.
Yeah, you get a couple of pills in a hotel room.
She spends a good 7 minutes of these mini episodes roaming the streets of Melbourne, ends up in Chinatown, where she tells a really great story.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
The story was that they went there once and they went to this restaurant and they didn't know it was going to be open.
But it was open.
And then they got dumplings.
How special. And you know what? I don't call a place where you get takeaway dumplings a restaurant. I call it a takeaway out. Like, there are dumpling restaurants in Chinatown, and you sit there and
down
you eat
and
them.
it's a great time.
Yeah.
It's very speedy service.
Yeah.
It's very convenient.
Cheap as well. You don't have to sit in one of a stinky Chinatown gutter.
And
I
Tyler
used to live above a stinky Chinatown gutter. We ate dumplings quite often.
And Tyler said at one point that he worked really hard to get a table at the restaurant that there's no tables, apparently.
At the dumpling restaurant?
What does work really hard mean? Does
You
he
know
have to do dishes out the back?
No, I'm pretty sure that means you have to wait maybe half an hour. That's probably working hard for him.
He maybe filled in the online form for a table and then it didn't come back.
Yeah.
And they called him.
He had to put some words together.
Yeah,
Maybe his 4G wasn't working either.
Probably not.
So then there's a weird encounter with a drunk girl who's trying to offer Piper a chip.
I want to
Like
know
she's a
more
seagull?
about. I want to know more about her.
I was quite invested in that drunk girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she wasn't even on the credits.
No.
So we would like to know who she is.
Yeah, is she a friend of the crew?
Can we look her up on IMDb?
Was she a real drunk girl who just turned up?
Yeah.
Because then she's like, "You look like a loser."
I don't know why she said it. Her hair was amazing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also,
All dressed up with nowhere to go.
Pipes is vlogging the whole ordeal looking for a boyfriend in the city streets on New Year's Eve and still has battery left to call him.
But
Not a thing.
No.
Who's watching that vlog though? Like, how boring would that be? I mean,
Oh, have you seen vlogs?
Yeah, no, I've got to say, the things that I watch, no.
Yeah, I've watched people haul what they bought at the shops. Like,
Yeah.
it's, you know.
I've watched multiple people now.
There was quite a lot going on in that vlog compared to other vlogs.
I didn't watch these things, and then Vaya put me on them.
Yeah.
And now I'll watch anyone do anything.
Yeah,
Really.
We've been talking about vlogs where people clean out their fridges.
Yeah.
It's really helpful.
Yeah, and the label.
I'll leave some links below.
Yeah.
So people are watching us talking about Pipes' vlog. So
yeah,
you know.
Jesus. Well, it was. Look.
Yeah, hi people.
So I also think it was just dreadful.
And then he just finds her. He just finds her on the
on
the bridge.
footbridge over the Yarra. At least they weren't trying to pretend they were in Sydney. I mean, we saw quite a few Melbourne landmarks.
Yeah, we
and,
did.
I mean, it
actually.
didn't look like Melbourne on New Year's Eve. Melbourne on New Year's Eve looks like the Vietnam War moratorium. Like, it's...
I know,
Yeah.
as Pipe says, oh, there's 1,000 people here. Well, actually, that's just
No.
a normal night for it to be 1,000
Yeah.
people.
So then he takes her back to his hotel room and ices her foot that the drunk girl has injured. And then they spend an hour talking about what a horrible year it was. At this stage, just can't be. What time is it?
It was midnight when they got back onto the bed.
Yeah, because the fireworks were in the window, like the special effects.
They weren't in the
reflecting
bed.
it. Oh, yeah.
It was all, no, it wasn't
So-
good, this episode.
Terage falls asleep at 7, Pipes is in the city by 8, roams around for 2 or 3 hours, finds him at 11.
Do you know who wasn't in this that should have been in
Yeah.
this? Paul and Therese.
Now, Paul was in the last 3 episodes.
I know, but he should be with Therese asleep on the couch.
Actually, it was
Fair.
nice seeing Terage in one of these. That was great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I didn't buy it. She should have just said, going out with my friends, unnamed Erinsborough High students, are
Yeah.
having a house party. Bye, mum. Don't
I'm
wait up.
going down to Frangers to see Zanka.
Yeah. Frangers would go off.
Oh.
Oh yeah, look, there would be broken bottles aplenty in
There
the
was
streets of Frangers.
underage youths on the beach.
Illegal fireworks up the wazoo.
Yeah. And Terage would have gone, bye, sweetie. I'll text you at midnight. In fact, I got texts from heaps of people at midnight.
Yeah.
The phone signal was fine in Melbourne.
Maybe we're not like young and hip anymore. Like maybe you got to be getting lots of messages.
I mean, not just from my mum going,
Yeah.
Happy New Year, sweetie.
Yeah. Before midnight. She sent it early.
Now, she sends it right on.
Oh, does she?
And she sent it through Facebook Messenger. So there
yeah,
you go.
I only got one message from my friend that's not on Facebook.
Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I got the same message. So, that was Dullsville. But, big question. Was it worse than the Amy paddleboarding episode?
My opinion is no.
I'd say it's on par. I can't remember what I gave Amy. Was it 2.5? It's about the same.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one a 2 dumplings out of 10.
I'm giving it 2 buns.
2 buns! Cliffhanger. D! And we can't watch the new one because it's not out yet.
No. D. We need more D.
Yeah.
That was incredible, actually, the Toadie episode. Did they go to Colac?
Well,
We had a debate about this while we were watching it.
I thought,
and
no way are they driving 2 hours to Colac.
Well, I thought they went to like Gisborne, which is just 40 minutes.
I did a little bit of fact checking with Google Maps, and yeah, they were in Colac. There was a Dimmies there. There's a Target there. Looked like the main street.
Well, sure it was in Footscray or something.
Yeah.
So Disney's there.
No, that was Forges.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, Toadie has skipped out on family Christmas with the Rebeckys. I don't know, where would they have gone? Sonia and Toadie and Nell.
All I know is that there's no way Sonia would have gone there on Christmas Day at all.
No. But who else is left for them to celebrate with? Maybe Jade was back from America.
Sonia's probably just hanging out with
Steph and-
Detective Mechanic and
Yeah.
starting a family with him.
Toadie's reading back over the letter that Dee wrote him just before they got married. Same letter, different voiceover. And he heads over to Colac to visit the Rebeckys, and he really just wants to scope it out.
I'm just so excited to finally see Toadie go
It's
back to
really
his roots. Because, they've been teasing us with Colac for nigh on 20 years now. So it's good to see it.
It's weird, because Colac was a big part of my childhood, because my grandparents had holiday cabins in the Otways, in Johanna, like an hour from Colac. So we always drove through Colac. So it's weird. It's just very weird. And they went to a general store which was called CHEZ, which I think she stole from CHEZ.
Yeah, nice nod to CHEZ.
Which looked a lot like the general store that you stop at in Inverleigh. We drove to Warrnambool on the way, after Geelong, there's a stop at Inverleigh where everyone has a rest stop.
All right, we're going to have to do some more fact checking on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Angie, line of the episode, what are you worried about? If Kevin disappeared, I'd be celebrating.
Yeah.
Which is slightly insensitive to your son and his missing wife, but whatever. And so they're going to try and take Toadie's mind off things and take him to the pub. But then Toadie strolls down the street and sees a blonde lady who actually looks a bit like Sonia from the back. So that was very confusing. But he turns around and it's Madeline West.
And so she turns, we see her face, and then he does this weird, I'm going to do it.
He was pretty chuffed.
So I think if I saw my long dead wife, I'd be like,
Can we get a current affair on the phone?
I think this same expression would be on my face for about 10 years.
Okay.
Like that.
Right, let's do it for the thumbnail. You've just seen your missing dead wife D. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So there's another part coming out for that, but we can't watch it. So maybe I'll insert our thoughts somehow.
Here are our thoughts.
It's giving us a really colourful picture of Victorian geography.
Yeah, hey, they went to Frangers, they went to Colac. I think next stop on their list, what do you reckon, Sunbury?
Well, they also went to St Kilda / the
yeah.
Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. Amy's one was so weird.
It was.
That was lame as hell.
Has it made you excited for the 2017 episodes?
I'm so excited.
Well, actually, I felt like a good fill-in.
Yeah, it was a good fill-up.
Yeah, yeah.
How much do you think they're going to reference? Are they going to talk about all their shenanigans that they all got up to?
I don't think they're going to talk
Frankston
about
and
it at all.
Colac and X-Beach.
I kind of feel like Amy's is the only one that may lead to something that we're...
Oh, what do you reckon? Hunter's
No.
going to show up on
Man
No,
bun.
no, I
There's
think
only room
maybe
for one
they'll
man bun on Ramsay Street.
Maybe Piles is one that was like, oh, remember how we had New Year's in the city?
Oh.
They might talk about that. But
Although Toadie's surely got to mention that he went to Colac to try and find her.
it'll be interesting to see whether it's canon or not, whether or
Yeah.
not she gets reintroduced in the actual show.
I couldn't be
just
more
replay
excited.
that.
And I'm loving, like, if you speak to people that don't watch Neighbours, they're excited about
Yeah, they're
Dee.
excited.
Like,
Everyone's
everyone's
there's a buzz.
excited about Dee.
The city's a buzz.
Dee's back. Dee's back.
So,
I caught up with friends over Christmas, and the husband turned to me and he's like, did you know Dee's coming
Yes,
back? And I'm like, yeah.
mate.
And then I actually spoke for about 15 minutes about Neighbours, explaining the whole Toadie, Sonia, surrogacy, weird storylines and that. And their eyes glazed over and they went home. So I don't know if I really kind of, maybe we just keep it between us
Yeah.
kind of Neighbuzzy fans.
So
Yeah.
listen to Neighbours, the podcast, neighbourspod.com for all the info. We will be recapping in full all of the new episodes in 2017. So we'll chat to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Alright, should we all do like the same symbol or something? Or
What symbol?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, peace. Maybe
Peace,
peace. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not that
Is
one.
it
Peace.
already
Yeah.
recording? Yeah, okay. Hi, I'm Vaya.
Whoops. Let's do that again.